Mermaids are a tale as old as time. Being seen by Christopher Columbus and even John Smith himself, they are still appearing to people this very day. Let's check them out. They accidentally reeled in a siren along with their catch, and she was pissed about it. You never know what you might catch when you're doing your job along the ocean. Some fishermen have caught things like colossal squids, doomsday fish, and other bizarre creatures by accident. But what happens when you accidentally catch an actual mermaid? While they were out pulling their catch onto their boat, one of the crewmates noticed that the fish were thrashing around at a speed that wasn't considered normal to them in the net. Something heavy was inside of it, and there were sounds of groaning and growling coming from the bag, and as they finally pulled it to get a better look, they noticed the webbed hands swatting around, desperately clawing for a way out. Eventually, one of her hands do break free from the net, as if she's trying to grab onto the nearby fishermen, but not before they completely drop their line back into the waters, letting her go. A fisherman on his kayak was being hunted down by a mermaid, and he didn't even realize it. A kayak in the middle of the ocean? What could possibly go wrong? Well, for this fisherman, he made a big mistake taking a chance with fate on this one. While he was out casting a line, his GoPro managed to capture a bizarre head poking out from the waves far out in the background. It was very brief, but the moment he turned around to see why he was feeling a pair of eyes on him, their head dipped back down into the waters below. It's crazy what the sixth sense can do to a person, because even though you couldn't see her, he still felt someone's presence watching him. What did this mermaid want from him? Was she plotting something that would have changed the course of his life forever? To this day, no one has been able to identify what he saw. Are you able to, though? A mermaid with long, blonde hair observes underwater researchers and students within a cave. While collecting samples along the nearby shallow waters of Cancun with a couple of interns, one of the scientists noticed something yellow out in the distance. At first, he thought it was some type of jellyfish by the way her hair was moving around, until she got closer. He then realized that he was looking at a mermaid, but because of how dimly lit their area was, he couldn't get a proper recording of the encounter. It was clear though what she was. She would approach some of the students to see exactly what they were doing, before swimming around them and observing from afar. Eventually, she swam away after she was done exploring this area, but the internet after this video was uploaded was left with even more questions about our oceans that we know so little about. These fishermen accidentally captured a mermaid on camera when they were trying to scour the ocean for a good fishing spot. Imagine using marine wildlife to your advantage by finding the best fishing spot by sticking a GoPro on it. While capturing a shark, they secured a GoPro onto its fin so that they could track what it sees down under. But what it managed to capture was far beyond what they could imagine. After they allowed the shark to scour the waters a little bit, they managed to yank it back from off its fin to see for themselves what it recorded. And there, coming out from the green murky water, was a mermaid. Although we can't get a clear view of what her face looked like, you can tell simply by the human arms and head with a tail attached to it. We all know what it is. Would you try this out for yourself? A siren was caught sunbathing on a rock off the coast of Norway. I have never seen a mermaid as ugly as this before. At the top of her head, she's completely balding, but still has stringy patches of hair around her head that hang down. Her body may have the shape similar to a human's, but her arms look like lobster claws and her ribs poking out, and her skin color being a mix of bright pink and dark sea green. The fisherman that managed to film this was absolutely disgusted by what he saw. Unfortunately, the dog that was with him made their presence known. The mermaid turns around with a snarl, baring her teeth before climbing down back into the lake. Terrified for his life, especially if she was planning to swim over to them and cause trouble, the filming abruptly stops. I can only imagine that he chose that opportunity to run away as fast as he could. Do you have any real mermaid footage? Send them to us and I'll be sure to talk about them in the next video.